All right, guys. Well, thank you all for getting on tonight. Thank you, Kristin, for being with us. I don't really have many announcements, but I do want to let you guys know that we are planning a What is Coaching event for March 9th. Can you guys believe we're talking March already? It's unbelievable to me. Like, I don't know why. I can't believe it. So March 9th, the same kind of thing from 9 to 10 or whatever. I'm working with Issa and Jamie. We're going to put together a kick-ass What is Coaching event, and I'll probably ask everybody to kind of participate like we do with introductions and all that other good stuff. So, mark that on your calendars. And that's really all I've got. So I want to go ahead and introduce Kristin. Kristin is obviously one of my close friends. She's an awesome coach. I've loved watching her success over the past couple years. She is a lifetime 1-star diamond. She is a Success Club 5 legend and a Success Club 10 all-star. She has had 26 months straight of Success Club 5 and 18 Success Club 10. So, I already knew without getting her specific stats that she hit Success Club every single month without fail. And I know that she has some really great systems down. And sometimes I think that you just need to hear from somebody else on something like this. So I'm really so excited to have her here. I'm excited to hear your tips. I've got my pen and paper ready. So I'm going to turn it over to you. So thank you so much for being on, Kristin.
Thanks, Katie. So Katie mentioned a couple of my stats, and I'll tell you that I'm going to give you a little bit of background just on Success Club. I know that most of you have been coaches for a while, but I want to tell you the why I hit Success Club or why you might be interested, because maybe just my tips might not be enough to motivate you. You might want to actually know why. So here's the scoop. When I started coaching, I was like, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to do it. Like, I'm going to actually just jump in and do it from the very beginning. I actually didn't dabble in coaching. I went and jumped right in from the very beginning. And so I signed in end of November, beginning of December. So I started coaching in December, and I hit Success Club 5 that month and every month since then. And I know Katie gave my stats about Success Club 10. I've actually hit Success Club 10 every single month since I signed, except for 3. And so it's been 18, or I think technically today I hit my 19th month in a row. And the reason being, I'm going to screen share right now. Oh gosh. I think I'm going to screen share. Oh, here it is. I'm going to share with you the why, and some of this is straight from corporate, so it's kind of dull, just to be totally honest. But the reason I hit Success Club every month, or try to hit Success Club, is that it is showing that I am doing what my mission is. And my mission is to help people be healthier and fitter in an easier way. And so just purely by hitting Success Club, we know that I'm reaching that many people. We also know that your business will grow both financially and also the size of your business as you hit Success Club, because you have more people who are challengers who are potential coaches. So, and then you'll see on the slide, there's also about recognition and rewards. And although all of that's great, that's actually not what motivates me. But Success Club does help you in those areas as well. For example, because I'm a Success Club legend, I actually was able to register for this year's trip to Punta Cana at the exact same time that a premier coach was able to register, even though I'm not a premier coach. So there's definitely some perks related to that sort of thing as well. Again, this just says that Success Clubs are a direct reflection of you helping people. I mean, it shows that you're doing what you set out to do as a coach. This here, though, I'll tell you that this is my reason. Initially, I was like, yeah, everybody else is hitting Success Club. I'm going to try to hit Success Club. But the leads is what motivates me to hit Success Club. I feel very strongly that I have limited time to run this business. Everybody has the same number of hours in the day, and we should choose how we use them. And I have a lot of things that I love coaching, but I have a lot of other things that I would like to spend my time on. So I feel very strongly about working smarter, not harder. And Success Club is the way to do that, because every single month, because I hit Success Club 5 and hit Success Club 10, I get free leads. So I get people paying for product, and I'm earning commission from free customers that take very little to no effort. Sometimes I choose to make an effort, and those people often become coaches because they chose to seek out Beachbody. So I have a lot of discount coaches, and I know Katie actually does too, that were free leads. So if you're not familiar with leads, you can get leads one of two ways. If you're hitting Success Club 5 and you're an Emerald coach, you're getting a free unpaid lead. So that would be somebody who signed up for a trial of Beachbody on Demand. But we all know that eventually they might become somebody who earns you money. So you don't earn money on their first purchase or their first sign up, but you eventually do. I also every month, because I hit Success Club 10, I get people who pay. So I earn commission from their first purchase. And so, for example, this month, I think I just counted earlier today, I think I had 18 orders from people who were not people I know that were free leads from Beachbody. So I earned money off these people. So now let's get into the tips. Let's get into the nitty gritty. So I want to tell you about how I make it happen every single month. And I know I put a little teaser up there today that I was a little bit panicking, I'll be honest. I was at Success Club 4, and Success Club 5 is a really great goal. So a lot of people, the goal is Success Club 5, and that's really great for me. I know that I want to continue to get my free leads. I want to continue to grow my business. And so I have a goal, a non-negotiable goal of Success Club 10 every month. And my goal, so it's a non-negotiable. It's not maybe I'll hit 5 or I'm going to work towards 5. My goal is 10 every single month. I'm going to make it happen somehow. And my goal, which I have not achieved yet, was to hit it by the 15th of the month. And the reason I make that as a goal is I feel like the quality of our coaching changes when we're scrambling. So we can totally, if you today are sitting at 0, you can hit Success Club 5 by the end of this month. No questions asked. I have confidence in every single one of you. But the way in which you do it is probably going to be a little bit different than the way in which I was able to do it by trying to make it happen before the 15th. So how I ensure that I make it happen every month, a pretty basic one, and I know every coach who's Emerald or above is going to tell you you have to do your power hour. You have to. It doesn't matter to me what your power hour looks like, so I don't care what your little check sheet is, but I encourage you to fill out a piece of paper so you can see where the gaps are. I'll tell you right now, I am very guilty if I do not write down my power hour. I slack on personal development and I slack on inviting to the business. But if I write it down, I make it happen. So it would be very, very hard to expect that you will hit Success Club 5 or 10 consistently without doing a power hour. Groups. I do a 5-day group every single month and a 21-day group every single month without fail. I'm consistent with those because I know that people who may have been interested in something a while back, but they chose not to, they know they can come to me because I'm going to be doing those kinds of things. I'll tell you also that when I am, like for example, this month, when I'm worried about my ability to hit Success Club, I often add a third group. And my third group is often, it might be a water challenge. It might be a 3-day refresh group. It might be another 21-day group. It depends a little bit on what I need to accomplish or what I'm planning on doing. But I often add an extra group. For example, this month I added a 21-day group. Last month I added a 3-day refresh group. And I'll tell you that when you're going to do, we all know that when we're having groups, we only have so many people that we can seek, and we only have so much time in the day. I often, for my third group, I team up with somebody. I very rarely try to host all 3 groups all by myself. It just becomes too much. So those are my basic things. Those are how I initially got all my people, my power hour, my groups. But now I'm going to get into the things that are a little bit different that maybe I do that you haven't done or you haven't done in the way in which I do. So I always ask for referrals. Every single day I'm asking. So any person who joins a 5-day, any person who joins a 21-day, any person who joins the coaching biz with me, I'm always asking for referrals. I do very little incentivizing, and I'm going to get there in a minute, but I do very little except for when it comes to referrals. I reserve my incentives for a referral only, and I'll tell you why in a moment. But so, for example, I have somebody who joins a 5-day group. I will say, do you have a few, and don't get me wrong, we all post it like within our events, and we might post it within our page. This is a direct message. If any of you follow me on Facebook, you will notice that I'm probably not great at my actual personal page. My actual personal page is very limited in my Beachbody stuff. Here and there seems to be more, but my business is almost solely run, and has for the last 2 years, on messaging. Personal messaging is where it's at. There are so many times that you're scrolling Facebook, you miss something, or so many times that, unless you're interacting personally, they may not see your post. So almost all of my power hour, almost daily, I make sure that I fill out my power hour in entirety. So like this piece of paper that I use, this fancy, colorful one, but I don't just fill out like 1 or 2. Like it's full every day, and it's of personal messaging. So personal messaging is key. So the next thing is incentives. And I know that my opinion on this varies a lot from different people. So I know a lot of people are quick at the end of especially at the end of the month, when they're kind of scrambling to hit Success Club, to offer an incentive. And I understand this point. And to be honest, this month I was scrambling, so I put an incentive out there. Okay, so when it comes down to it and you're really trying to make it happen, I think it's great. I personally don't love having to do that regularly. I think that giving an incentive sometimes discounts the value of what we have to offer. And let's say that this month you offer it and then next month you're not. My fear is always that somebody's going to hold off until we have that incentive again. So I tend to not incentivize other than for referrals. So if somebody joins my 21-day group and I immediately say, do you have a friend or family who would like to do this with you? If they do, I give both people $10. So we're not discounting Shakeology. I'm not giving a large dollar amount at all. It's just a little bit of a thank you for referring to my groups. So the person referred and the person that referred, the person who was referred, each get a $10 gift card. And now granted, somebody could get endless gift cards. If I referred 10 people, I'd get $100. So I definitely do that. And on average, every month, I get people that way. Along those same lines, when people join your 21-day groups or your 5-day groups, even if it's a small group or a big group, make sure your groups are kick-ass, because referrals are where it's at. And if your group isn't awesome, it is less likely that your people are going to refer somebody else. So once somebody is invested or committed, even if it's just for a free group, make sure that you're really investing in those people, not only within the group, but behind the scenes. My next 3 things are probably the way in which, when I am needing to get creative in how I do it. So I never, ever, ever order 2 shipments of Shakeology on my own personal account, ever. But I need 2 shipments often, because I need packets for when I'm giving them for a prize, or I need a program when I'm giving it for a prize, or I need packets because somebody local wants to try it and they're going to give me money for it, etc. So what I often do is, if I'm getting close to the end of a month and I haven't quite hit where I need to be, I do not hesitate to ask a family member if they'd be willing for me to buy a challenge pack under their name. I'm the one paying for it. But I asked that, like, for example, a couple of months ago, it was the last day of the month. I had not hit Success Club 10. My cousin's husband had done numerous of my groups, but my cousin's wife is signed as a coach, so couldn't ask her. And he was like, oh, I'll gladly do that. So he ordered the challenge pack, shipped to me. I paid for it, and that got my points for that month. so that happened. I try not to make that happen, but obviously when we are trying to make Success Club 5 happen, there are times when we have to get a little bit creative. And so that's definitely an option. New product launches are a really great way, or even when a current customer is in need of a new program. For example, in my 5 days, I always put at the end of my 5 days and also at the end of my 21 days, I put and I tag everybody in the group about their interest in future groups. And in my 5-day, I will say, comment below on the groups you're interested in, and I let them know about my 5-day, my 3-day refresh group, and my 21-day. So for example, let's say that somebody has purchased a challenge pack in the past, maybe say 21-day fix, and they show interest in the 3-day refresh. If in the event that I need to, I have no trouble saying to them, well, instead of paying full price for your refresh and paying full price for your Shakeology, either delay your current Shakeology shipment or cancel your current Shakeology shipment and buy a new challenge pack. Because then it's almost a service to them. They end up getting their Shakeology and their 3-day refresh more cost effective, and you get the Success Club points. There is a lifetime maximum. I think it's 5, right, Katie? I think it's 5.
I think they've recently been cracking down on 2 or 3 points.
Okay.
But I'm not gonna lie, they've slipped by before. But
yeah, I mean, so and again, this isn't like, I always push for a higher cushion anyhow, but it's definitely a possibility when you're getting. Same thing with this all access. If anybody who's been continuing on Shakeology, you could offer to a past customer who's still enjoying groups to.
Hey, Kristin.
Yeah.
It's 2 now. They will take it away from you. It used to be they could buy up to 4 challenge packs lifetime. They don't.
Okay.
It's 1 challenge pack. You get 1 set of Success Club points now per customer, and that's it. They can buy a challenge pack. You'll get the volume, the challenge pack volume, but you won't get the Success Club points. Mine got taken away from me. I hit 5 last month and lost 2 because another customer bought a challenge pack back in December, and quality control came through and took those points away from me in January.
So that's interesting.
And so I called and I asked and I said, wait a minute, I thought it was 4 max. And they said, no, it's not anymore. We've changed the rules. And it's actually in the FAQs. It's 2 points total lifetime. That's all you get. You get 1 set of lifetime points per customer, which is no fair. I mean, they're giving us the volume. Why not give us the points? But it's 1 set lifetime now per customer. And then you'll still get the volume for it, but you won't get the Success Club points. So it's kind of frustrating, but that's what they're doing now.
Okay, and I think, and I know that they have been cracking down on it a little bit more. I know there also has been discussions about changing that to unlimited lifetime. It's certainly not the only way to do it, but it definitely is a way that I have hit Success Club. In fact, I've had them go through. Like they definitely, I'm sorry that happened to you, but I definitely had.
Oh, they went through and then they took them away the next month.
Yeah. I mean, I've had some stick though. Like, I mean, I've been doing this now for 2 years. Like they've stuck. So I'm sorry that didn't work for you, but it definitely has. I mean, even last month, I definitely had that happen. So, again, you might not want to bank on it, but it's definitely a possibility to try. Okay, so here is, this is just a quick little graphic of, thinking about those making sure that when you're trying to sell a challenge pack, that you're thinking about the individual. You're not just selling for the this happens a little bit less now than it used to, but we used to always often focus on the challenge pack that was this promotion for the month. And I think it's really important that we're making sure that when we're suggesting a specific challenge pack to anybody, we're suggesting the one that suits their needs. The other thing along that same lines is that right now I know a lot of people are trying to push the all access challenge pack, which in my opinion is a really amazing option. But when people say, I really want to do that, but it's kind of pricey, don't forget that there are a handful of challenge packs that are still $140. So you always can give them the one option and work your way down when you're making sure to follow up with that kind of thing. Oh, so this is just straight from Beachbody, but when you're finding people, you can find them a variety of ways, but the best way to find people is to kind of have people find you and follow you. So you're messaging, and eventually they're going to come around. So making sure that you are sharing on your social media about being a product of the product, but also when you're interacting with people, not only talking Beachbody, but once it comes to that time, making sure that it does come in, to there. So here is my what not to do. And I feel like this sometimes is just as important as the what to do. I think that we should never seem desperate. Meaning that if you send a message to somebody and they ignore you, I think follow-up is certainly important. So follow-up is key, and I'm going to get to the follow-up, but follow-up is totally, totally key. But realize that if you have 1,000 friends on Facebook, that means you have 1,000 people at minimum you could be reaching out to. You don't need to keep bombarding the same people over and over again. Similarly, I think that it is important, though, that you make sure you follow up. It is not guaranteed that just because somebody didn't order that they don't want it. It could be, life gets crazy busy. They miss a message. Just yesterday, I'm going to tell you guys how I hit Success Club in these last few hours in a couple of minutes. But, somebody even admitted, they're like, I saw the message, I forgot to listen to it, and it was a voice message. And so she just didn't go back to it. And as soon as she once I had followed up with her. So I think that also making sure that you're consistent and not overposting at the end of the month to make up for the fact that you haven't hit, which is another reason, like I mentioned earlier, that I think that trying to hit earlier in the month is so key, because it really makes it seem as though we really are just legitimately there to help. Once we start overposting at the end of the month, I think that what happens is that people see that it becomes more of a sale instead of a helping thing. Katie and I talked about this the other day, and this is really important to me, and I think that it's something that everybody should realize. We all have, as coaches, a lot of different things that we do. A lot of us are creating menus, we're training our own teams, we are trying to hit Success Club, we are doing all of that. If we haven't hit Success Club yet, I think some of the other things need to be put on the back burner. So for example, we are all very, very, very fortunate that we have an upline. Many of you have Katie has Megan, I have Jen McNeil, that if and when we are struggling and we only have a finite amount of time that we can use on the business, that we're using our business time to interact with people and do those vital behaviors that could potentially hit Success Club, rather than spending those minutes doing something else. So on months like that, that's when I in particular focus a little bit more on, like, I'll use Jen's What Is Coaching event instead of doing my own, or using Megan or Katie's or whoever's new coach training instead of trying to create your own. Until I've hit Success Club, I don't spend my time doing those things that won't get me to Success Club. I think I'm a little bit more specific of really focusing on my power hour and duplicating my power hour over and over again. So, doing 10 minutes of PD instead of doing hours of podcasts until I've hit Success Club. All right, so I think it's important that we always take advantage of the fact that we have an upline, like I said. Until you've hit, use previous menus, use other people's trainings, use What Is Coaching events. Always, always, always follow up with your customers. So I'm going to give you this month. So I had a really great month last month, and February is notorious in the Beachbody business for being a little bit more of a challenging month. And so I kind of knew that going into it, that I was going to have to be a little bit more creative. So that means that I'm making sure that I'm getting as many people into my 5-day at the beginning of the month as I can. So that might be, not just posting on my page, but reaching back out to those past 5-day customers who enjoyed it in the past and encouraging them to bring somebody along. Same thing, reaching back out to past 21-day challengers who really loved it, and maybe not asking them to buy a new challenge pack, but seeing if, they have a friend who might enjoy doing another group with them. I have a lot of 21-day challengers who are kind of lifers. You know, they do them all the time. They clearly are enjoying our groups. So they're the perfect person to say, you know, I know you've been really enjoying my groups. Do you have anybody, you know, do you have a friend or family who might want to do this next group with you and help to cheer you on, or you can help to cheer them on? Keep calm and hit successful 5. So I'm going to stop screen sharing. So my last 24 hours, I have worked probably more hours this month on messaging and reaching out to people than I've ever done in my entire business. And so the last 24 hours, I was like, you know, I always hit Success Lab 10. I'm going to hit Success Lab 10. It is a non-negotiable. It didn't happen by the 15th, but it's going to happen. And I don't want it to happen on the last day of the month because that's nerve-wracking for me. I don't work well under pressure. Instead, I freeze up. So I had somebody yesterday reach out to me and say, you know, I need to reorder my Shakeology. I haven't gotten it in a while, but I only want a shipment. I don't want auto ship. And so immediately my brain went to the fact that, like, wait a minute. A single shipment of Shakeology, when you take into consideration the cost of shipping, comes to $156-ish. And again, I'm scrambling at this point, right? So I said to the woman, here's the scoop. What do you think about getting the All Access Challenge Pack? Yes, it is $40 more than or $50 more when you take into consideration shipping, but it saves you money through the year. And you know, some people just don't, they don't put that together. It's not even that so anyhow, she was like, oh my gosh, yes, of course, that's exactly what I want to do. She's like, I order Shakeology every other month. She's like, I didn't realize it was so easy to delay. So unless we're giving our customers this information, sometimes they just don't know. So honest to goodness, yesterday I had one person, that's how it happened. She was going to order a single shipment. She even said straight up, I don't want auto ship. So she ordered, and I immediately gave her, upon ordering, the form to fill out to delay it right away. And I gave her the live chat if she needed to cancel right away. And so that was that easy. Today I also had a past challenger who has done, when I say past challenger, past 5-day challenger, has done 5 days. She's tried Shakeology. She's not convinced she loves Shakeology. I'm really low on packets. She's local. She said, I really just want Beachbody on demand. Like the all access, but on demand. And I said, okay, so I have a favor to ask of you. Would you be willing to get the All Access Challenge Pack? And I'm going to give you the $100 difference, and I'm going to take the packets off your hands. And so that's how I got my next 2 points, or my next 3 points. So all of a sudden, right there, I'm at 6 points from just those 2 challenge packs. And again, it took a little creativity. If I just did what they said and just agreed to it, and I wasn't pushy, I offered, and if she wasn't up for it, she would have just gotten BOD, and it was no big deal. But this is somebody who's enjoyed my groups in the past, and she was happy to help me out because I've helped her on her health and fitness journey. I think so that was that. And then my last person was somebody who ordered a challenge pack and signed as a coach, which was just a very straightforward kind of thing. But what's interesting about that is that actually isn't somebody that I talked to this month even. It's somebody from the past doing my power hours consistently. Today reached out and said, you know, I'm ready to sign as a coach. How can I do that? Can I, you know, do I need to order a challenge pack? Is there a cost, et cetera? So, you know, sometimes it's those people from the past kind of circle back around to buy challenge packs well after your conversations. So that's all I have for you. Does anybody have any questions?
I'm gonna jump in here. Just a couple things that stood out to me, and I think like an underlying theme of everything that she said, and I think it's key to have this for everything she said is and something we do in general is having that relationship built. I mean, it starts with what she said with the power hour. She's doing a power hour just about every day, building those relationships. From there, she can have a kick-ass challenge group. That's part of building the relationship. From there, she can ask for referrals. If you're not building the relationship, if you're not having a kick-ass group, the referrals are not going to work. They're not going to come. Private message, that's building a relationship. Everyone is a little bit different. I know I'm much more present on social media, but I also do that private message. Kristin's almost 100% private message. It goes right along with building that relationship. And then the last thing that I just wanted to mention, and we had chatted about it, and I think it's really key, is that I know we all want to be, we all want to take on that leadership role, and I think that's great, running our own teams and doing all this other stuff. But if the Success Club isn't happening, your team's not going to grow no matter how much you give them. And I see people make this mistake all the time. And I even feel like with myself, I had some big goals at the end of the year last year, big Success Club goals, big goals for Elite, and I didn't run what is coaching events those last couple months. I took a little step back from the team. We didn't have regular team calls. I don't even know if you guys noticed, probably didn't. But Megan, I can rely on her because she does this stuff for us. And it's the same with you guys. I hope you guys feel that way. I hope you know that. Because if you're not hitting your personal goals in your business, this was a huge thing at NLC last year. And I know there's people on our team and on Team Phoenix who do this. They focus way too much on their own teams. Don't host your own What is Coaching event unless you are hitting Success Club every single month. Don't host all your own individual team things and put time into that if your own business is not thriving, because nothing's going to work. Nothing's going to grow. So I love what she said about that. She's moving forward. I mean, she's got her husband built. She's got coaches who have hit diamond. I mean, she's doing that without, pouring all of this time in her own team until she's hitting her own Success Club goals. So love that stuff. I'll stop chatting now. If anyone else has questions, she had some awesome tips. Loved all of it. I know that I've used family members. I've done all that kind of stuff. So anyone have questions, feel free to unmute yourselves and jump in. Nobody comments? Anything?
Kristin, it's Janelle. Can you hear me?
I can.
So when you're asking for referrals, do you ask literally everybody you've ever worked with for all kinds of groups, and even people who may have not worked with you directly, or just people who've been in your groups before or purchased from you?
I ask every single person. So
and how do you go about it? What do you say?
So for example, I have somebody today, last second, join my 5-day that starts tomorrow. And she said, so-and-so suggested I might like this. And I said, oh my gosh, I'm happy to have you. I'm going to add you right now to the group. Do you have any friends or family who might enjoy doing it with you? That's it. It's so basic. And often they'll say, oh my God, yeah, my sister would love to do it, or my friend would love to do it. Can I add them? Yep. Okay. You can. And so really,
for a 5-day. Yeah, that's easy.
Even for a 21-day. Okay. I did the same thing for a 21-day. And same thing, I ask every single person. So I don't care if it's somebody who's done all 28 of my 21-day challenge groups, or if it's their first time. I ask. And again, because I keep it simple, the answer is ignores that. It's a yes or no answer. So,
okay.
But I ask every single person.
Okay. And you get a lot of good response, it sounds like. So that's good.
Yeah. I probably, at least one, if not more, of my challenge packs per month is somebody that I have not created any relationship with, but it's been referred by somebody else in one of my groups.
Okay. Do you get a lot of luck, with your leads, reaching those people? Because we get the email addresses through Beachbody and stuff. Do you hear back from them? Because I always message them, but I don't necessarily hear back.
And I would say it's probably 5%.
Okay.
It's probably about 5% that I hear back from. But I'll tell you that the ones that actually do respond are often the best. So
Yeah.
it's that copy paste email. I mean,
So it's the same for all of us. Okay.
I don't do a lot of copy and pasting, but those emails I copy and paste.
Yeah. Okay.
And just like another thing she mentioned with the leads is that, and I find this too, even if I don't hear from them, free leads, a lot of times they come back and make purchases. So I might never hear from them, but I'll get purchase after purchase from them. But I think consistency was one of her little themes too. You know, she's always asking for the referral. She's always, you know, I mean, let's be honest, sometimes we get lazy with 5 days and whatever. I know I can admit to that, but being consistent is really important.
Kristin, have your 5 days gotten a little less, I don't know, less active, or I don't know what the word is I'm looking for.
I think they've gotten smaller.
Yeah.
But
okay.
I feel like the interaction is still the same. So
Okay.
the perk of them smaller is I can, like I for a while was having them upwards of 100 people. It's insane. Doing that, it's not even fun.
Right.
So I like them at like 50.
We are going to run out of time. Good question though. Kristin, I just want to thank you for being on before we cut out, and everyone, thank you for getting on live. I really appreciate that. You know, especially when we have a guest speaker. So, all right, everyone have a great night.
Thanks, Kristin.
Yeah, thanks, Kristin.
Welcome.